Years old when my parents decided to pack up the whole family and move us all to Cleveland, Ohio. It was a place that my mom had lived in her younger years. She had grown up in a house, and she wanted to go back. I had never seen snow. And then my dad agreed. My beta dad, man, he was like, all right, honey, let's go. And we fucking packed up all 5 kids, and we moved there. My dad used to have a truck. And in the truck, we put 2 mattresses down, and we would play board games. The whole ride here, we were playing board games. I was a Beyblade fanatic, man. All right, let it rip. I didn't just have your basic launcher. I had the launcher that had the handle with the extended ripcord that was triple anyone's ripcord. When it came to beating my brothers and sisters, dude, I had a knife where I sharpened the edges of my Beyblade. And if you guys don't know what Beyblades are, check them out. They're these little tops, and they used to get really competitive. It was awesome. And I would just destroy everyone. That was the trip here. I'm getting off subject. So then we moved up here, and I started high school. I was a freshman. I was 15, like I said, and I'm starting high school, 15, 16. It's a little bit hazy. And I didn't have any friends, no social circle, no cliques. And there was this beautiful weight room that was open. So I jumped in, I started lifting, I started bench pressing, and I wanted to get really strong because I saw this kid who had veins all through his arms and he was shredded. I had never seen anything like it, so I wanted to be like that. And I talked to him and he showed me some stuff. And I kept going 3 times a week, 4 times a week. Then it became a daily thing. I was in love with working out, and that really gave me some kind of purpose in high school. Everyone knew me as that guy, the big Elijah, the workout kid. Man, I got heavy. When I first started, I was 140 pounds. And guys, I got up to past 200. I was 210 by sophomore year, not all clean, right? I was not just pure shredded muscle. And then I got up to 240, and next thing I knew, I was 260 pounds. Deadlifting 5 plates on each side. I was killing it, dude. But this whole time, guys, what I'm saying, in high school, I had this story in my head playing that I was the fucking shit. All throughout high school, I had something in my head, and I think it started before then, but it was really in high school when I was around a large amount of people, and I knew what I was doing in the weight room was bettering myself. That I saw everyone around me, what they were doing, and I compared myself to them. And I knew that what I was doing was I'm the shit, man. No one's pushing weight in the gym. No one's getting stronger. No one's watching what they eat. Everyone else was partying and drinking. And worrying about fucking girls and just the video games and stuff. Not me, though. I had dedicated my high school years to working out. Anyways, along this journey, right, I formed my own story in my head about what it was. Why was I badass? I was feeding myself no matter what it was, but I believed it. I believed that I was better. I was brought up as a Christian. That added to the story. I believed in God. I believed I had a purpose. I worked out. That gave to my purpose. I had, my dad was loud at the flea markets. That fed my purpose. I was social. I was extroverted. Well, I wanted to be, but I wasn't. But I knew that I could talk and motivate others. And some people would talk to me about the gym, and that would motivate them. Dude, how do you do barbell curls? How do you do this? And I would show them, and they would get motivated, and then more people started coming in. And I kept feeding myself this story. And guys, I think that if we all look back, man, we can all tell that we had a story. You had some sort of story that you were telling yourself from a young age, and it got built up to this place of where you are now. I still, to this day, have a story that I tell myself in my head. It's the only way that I get up in the morning and go throughout my day. Now, you run into people that are so on the other end of the spectrum, polar opposites of you, that their story has got to be dramatically different in their head of what they're telling themselves. Because I run into people where smoking weed is normal, okay, but and they live a life where they're smoking weed and that's They're like owning that shit. They really love to do that. Okay? No, I'm not beating that up, but but my mind doesn't get that, because in my mind, like, I have this story I've been feeding myself of, all right, I've got to be the best man I can be. I want to be powerful. I want to be a leader. I want to be strong. I want to be successful. I want to have beautiful women in my life. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to fucking conquer the world, right? That's what I want to do. That's what my story has been telling me. So when I see this other guy's story of smoking weed, like chilling with his homies, that doesn't resonate with me. And I almost think to myself, dude, are you blinded? Snap out of it. But, I mean, that's him. Like, that's him doing his thing. There's other people, partying, whatever. Everyone, and we can call that low levels of consciousness. We can call that whatever you want. Of, like, not seeing the bigger picture. We can call them plebs, ordinary people. We're all just people, though. Okay, and that's not what this is talking about. I want to get back. I call my story. I was thinking about it. If I could call my story what it is, it's the warrior spirit. I mean, even in the channel, it's why, because I have that drive for self-development, to be better, to expand and grow. But and I think a lot of you guys that are with me can relate. You have that same urgency, that same fire in your belly. They call it thumos, the fire in the belly, to just be better. But it doesn't resonate with a lot of other people. A lot of people won't get that, because a lot of people have been brought up and they were in high school and they were the gothic kid, or they were the emo gothic whatever, or the nerd, the this and that. And then a lot of times these days, a lot of people get into fitness and now they have this new story. The journey begins. They feed themselves this power, and now we're almost a little more similar. So where I'm going with this, the warriors, the story in our head, guys, whatever story you're having in your head, I mean, it's so important that you maintain that you feed that story and you nourish it. Because if you start throwing shit in there, like from the weed guys, if you start throwing it in and mixing it with stuff that you haven't been telling yourself, that's just not to the purpose, you're going to feel off. You're going to feel weird. You're going to feel like you're not really growing. That's not even what I'm trying to talk about. I want to be completely keep it 100. Keep it 100, man. Let's keep it 100. This is what I want to talk about, okay? If your story is the one of you want to get a lot, you want to be successful, right? So you want to be so fucking powerful, man. You want to just have all the fucking pussy in the world. You want to make a change and impact the world. Look, man, being men, I've said it probably 10 times now, but it's so plain to see that we as men are like strong. Women are strong. Men are strong, and we were meant to be out fucking sailing the oceans and hunting and catching fish, okay? But these days, it's a lot different than that. Our purpose isn't as direct as, honey, I'm going out with my fucking longbow. I'm going to go bring home dinner. I'll be back in a couple hours. Like, I'm not going to wake up in the morning and work on building a house. So, the warrior spirit story that we've been telling ourselves, a lot of us dive into working out because it feels like we're, exerting. We're fucking, I'm fucking strong, man. We like that. It exerts us. We put our energy into that, dude. We don't really have that in a lot of other areas of our life. So I was talking to my buddy last night, and he's an avid gamer, and he plays like CS:GO, he's told me, he's like, dude, I'm kind of unhappy. I keep playing video games, but I want to do something more. And I said, dude, I know. You're just like me, man. I can tell he just likes to work out. He's fucking high test, man. He's aggressive. He's got that oomph. And he's not satisfied with life. I think a lot of us get like that. And what do we turn to? We turn to what we know. Video games, man. What do we guys love? Fucking adventure games where there's a warrior, where there's battle, when we feel like fucking back to that like primitive fucking nature that we have in us. And so many of us don't have that, because I don't believe that our brains are wired to really just know what to do with all of this. And when I say all of this, technology, social media, the work environment is constantly changing. Everything's constantly changing. Dealing with women is not the same. We gotta fucking learn that shit, right? And we get so, our stories are like, we get heated. We're in high school. We're growing. Maybe not even. Maybe middle school, or maybe we don't have any story, but we're on that warrior path, and then we get stifled. We're blunted because we don't know what else to do. So we turn to video games. We turn to World of Warcraft and like get lost in this world where we can fucking have like warriors and shit and like raid, and that's awesome. But it like numbs the thumos. It extinguishes the fire in us. And I think that we gotta just keep going, man. I mean, you gotta find something, anything, just anything, dude, to feed your story. I look at some people that bash on Ty Lopez and how he says he reads a book a day. I do not care if the guy rented that fucking house, alright? I don't, if he scammed, whatever. He has his own fucking story in his head. And if he's saying reading books, it's because he fucking reads a lot of books, and that feeds his story. It feeds my story. When I read a book, whether it be fiction or non-fiction, I feel like I'm learning something new, or I'm on an adventure, and that's feeding the fire within me. When I listen to Elliot Hulse and he tells me to shake that shit out, that's like a little cheat code for me to get in this story that I've been telling myself and apply that, so that when I do come in a weird consequence where I'm stifled by a woman, or I get a little nervous, I can fucking you think that I just take cold showers because I fucking love standing in cold water because I'm trying to be the cool guy? No. I do it because I'm feeding that story, guys. And wherever you are in life, I ask that you would look at it like that, as, am I doing things that are, giving, am I nurturing this fucking story in my head? Or am I like trying to just, I'm all over the place. I'm trying to impress everyone. I'm trying to do this and that. I don't even know, you can't even hear the story you're telling yourself. I honestly, like I said, on the different spectrums, you run into guys that are like, you see them eat shitty food all the time, and in your mind you're like, what the fuck? And they're eating the food, what the fuck? They don't think, what the fuck, man. Right? That's, life is good. Enjoy good food, go home, relax, work hard, and that's like them. That's their story. So it doesn't make sense. But like, when we catch ourselves doing stuff like this, I think, you don't want to water down your story, man. I'm just going to keep going on this little rant, dude. Yeah, so along the path, I wanted to say this for another video, but I'm just going to jump into it, man. Like, along the path, along the journey, we're going to be struck with a lot of temptations. I'm saving this, guys. Have a nice night. Peace.